What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another great episode. DJ Reacts, you know what it is. Got a lot of interesting stuff for you guys, so we're gonna get into it real quick. But as a disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't believe anything that I say. Don't believe anything that you see on these videos. Do your own research. But we're gonna look at some more normal stuff today because this is it's just been in my face a lot. And you guys know I don't watch TV. I'm not into the politics, but some of this stuff they're not reporting on or they're not, making a big deal about is a big deal. So let's get into it.
Stopped into a church. I passed along the way.
That man deserves a trophy or a statue or something. Absolutely.
California battles one of its wettest ever storms. Mudslides wreak havoc, and Southern California remains on high alert for flash floods. Many homes have been severely damaged and thousands remain without power. In LA, authorities said it was the third wettest two-day period since 1877. While wet winters are common in California, scientists warn that human-induced climate change can trigger extreme weather events like floods, making them more intense and frequent.
You guys already know what I'm going to say. Probably the same thing that you're going to say. Harp. Harp to the fullest. This is not ozone layer or human-induced climate change or cows farting. This is HARP. 48 states have never, ever gotten snow at the same time. Ever. There is not a time in our modern history that 48 states have all gotten snowed on naturally, and I'm talking before HARP. So if you go pre-HARP, like, 1940s and back, no, it's never happened before. So yeah, this is all just bullshit. And I have nothing good to add to that. I've always, most of you have seen homes like that are teetering off of cliffs. You know, uh, it's very dangerous just because of erosion in itself, or in and of itself. Erosion is going to happen, and I've seen many mudslides and torrential floods that just come out of seemingly nowhere, and these houses get hit. But it's strange the way it's happening now. Before, you can be like, oh, okay, well, they intentionally, like, the government would intentionally flood certain areas, like with the Hoover Dam. They intentionally flooded the people below them. They offered them money to leave. They offered them money to, go somewhere else, and they would give them another house. And a lot of people just were like, no, we're not leaving. This is our home. And same thing in Virginia. A lot of places they do that, and then they'll actually intentionally flood the area after, if they get like a certain amount of the people out, but some people just decide this is our home, we're not moving. They don't care. They flood them completely. Those places do not exist anymore. They exist underwater, but nobody's living there. So yeah, I don't like it. It's just all this has been giving me really bad vibes lately.
vuelva la luz, va a volver a explotar. Oye, justo hay una micro ahí, weón. Conchetumare. Cuando vuelva la luz, va a volver a explotar. Oye, justo hay una micro ahí, weón. Conchetumare.
See that? Same thing in Maui. The exact same thing. Only in Maui, it was infrared lasers, and so only certain cameras caught it. So if you were looking with your naked eye, you didn't see it. But there were some people that caught it on camera. It's in some of my other videos. But yeah, just I keep saying this. They're doing this. People are like, you know, how are they all catching on fire? And I'm like, it's not a fucking fire. They're being absolutely burnt to a crisp intentionally. People that watch the news, I can't believe that all these forest fires. There's no fucking forest. Do you see a forest? Is there a forest anywhere here? Show me a forest. There's no forest.
My God, I wasn't gonna rabbit hole anymore. I wasn't going to rabbit hole it. Guys, think what happened in Maui.
Holy shit, this situation just got a whole lot fucking crazier. As you can see, former Chilean President Sebastián Pinera dies in a helicopter crash at 74 just yesterday. But before we go any further, I want everybody to be aware of the situation at hand and why we're talking about Chile. This just so happens to be what majority of southern Chile looks like at this very moment, as a series of deadly wildfires that killed over 112 people ravaged through the areas of southern Chile. Now stay with me, okay, because this is the primary reason of why we're speaking about Chile and the wildfires. As you can see, thousands of homes were destroyed in flames, which swept through the hilly settlements around the resort town of Viña del Mar starting Friday, propelled by high winds. A regional state of emergency was declared and a nighttime curfew imposed. Well, ironically, the same energy institutions that just so happen to be involved with rebuilding Maui in quotations, just so happen to have their 4th LA Conference on Sustainable Development of Energy, Water, and Environment Systems.
I haven't seen this part, but I haven't seen any of these videos. I guarantee you this is going towards those smart cities, those 15-minute cities, because that's the whole thing that Maui was. They wanted to burn Maui to a crisp, you know, completely just, you know, it was just a complete apocalyptic, you know, massive scorched earth situation. And then you have all these fucking vultures coming in, these real estate vultures that disgust me. They fucking disgust me. Coming in. Now, it might not look like it, but those houses, you know, on the low end are 800 to a million and up, you know, in Maui where this happened. Doesn't look like that, you know, because you can get a lot more for that money in most places, but Maui, those houses are pretty high end. So these fucking piece of shit fucking vultures are coming in, and these people have nothing. You know, nobody's helping them. Not really. You know, yeah, they have a little bit of help, but nobody's really helping them. And so these real estate agents are coming in and they're like, you know, we'll offer you 10% of what your home that doesn't exist anymore and that plot of land, which is all messed up, we'll offer you 10% of it because that's what it's worth to us right now. And, you know, a lot of people are taking that deal because they don't have any other options. There's no other deals to be had. And that's fucked up. That, for one, should be illegal. It should be highly illegal to be such predatory business acts like that. You know, to be that predatory and to be just a fucking leech, a fucking parasite, just disgusting. These people have lost everything. And you come in there, you know, with a wad of money that, you know, wouldn't even take care of their lawn if it were in peril. You know, if their lawn was in peril, that money wouldn't take care of it. You know, these might not be big homes, but because of where they sit and the island they're on, they're expensive homes, and it disgusts me. I can't fucking stand it. I guarantee you he's going to say 15-minute cities, something about smart cities. Like I said, I haven't seen this yet, but I might be wrong. He might not, but this is what I've been thinking. So let's see if I'm right.
Just on the 14th to the 17th of January 2024 in where? Ironically, if you look into as to why they're interested in Viña del Mar, you might see here Viña del Mar is considered Chile's top city to live in, work in, and visit, and ranks second behind only Santiago for education. And then a whole bunch of other pros for the area as well. And that doesn't seem to be the only article that seems to be talking about things like that. Now what's ironic is the company named Hitachi just so happened to have a website just a couple months ago that just so happened to be deleted that clearly stated that Maui was supposed to be the first integrated SMART island. So that's pretty interesting, and the reason why it's so damn interesting is because of this. Oh wow, you mean the SMART City Business Chile headquarters are at where? Huh. And then if you just so happen to go to their summit website, you might find things like this. And has anybody gained notice as to how many lithium mines are being built in southern Chile? I'm not laying claim to anything officially being true, but I hope I can at least connect the puzzle pieces for you a little bit easier. In the last episode, I just so happened to speak about a certain satellite that just so happened to be above Maui the day of the wildfires. Now once again, not laying claim to anything officially being true, but the satellite just so happens to be owned by a company named CERN. CERN a couple years ago just so happened to declare that they discovered the fifth force of nature, which just so happens to be something called cosmic energy. And cosmic energy may or may not be collected via satellite. And when it is, it just so happens to be able to produce a specific beam, but you can't actually say that word openly here on TikTok. But it's ironic because I spoke about in the last video as well that there has officially been a Space Force unit created just last year, right? That is designated to defending the nation against adversary satellites that are capable of producing ground-based what? Yeah, once again, I can't use that word. But gosh, that really makes you think, huh? Did you know Jeff Bezos just last year just so happened to build a SMART hub in the middle of the waters in Greece? And the main two areas that just so happen to communicate via data with the hub are Athens and Larissa. Wait, Athens and Larissa just had their worst fire seasons to date. Oh man, wait, what? It's not hard to research into these matters for yourself, people. I mean, come on. So many people rely on mainstream media and the news to paint this picture of truth for you.
See, that's the sad part. Like he said, so many people are relying on mainstream media. You've got to stop doing that because they all just have an agenda. They do not give a fuck about you or the truth or any of that. That's why, you know, we're blessed to have these platforms where we can find out the actual truths of what's going on. And it's fucked up. They might as well call this Project Scorched Earth. You know, Scorched Earth. Project Scorched Earth. We're gonna scorch these countries that, you know, won't take our offers to sell to us. And so then we take them. And, you know, Bill Gates did the same thing. Bill Gates was buying up all this land, this farmland in the U.S. And then he went to India and he was trying to buy up farmland in India. And the Indians were like, no, you know, there's no amount of money you can give me that will make me sell this land. This land has been in my family for generations and blah, blah, blah. So somehow he was over to take over, you know, basically debo them out of almost 1 million acres of farmland. And that year, I want to say 21 or 22, that year that it happened was the biggest year for farmer self-unaliving ever in India, ever, because they took it. You know, it's like the whole mafia thing. You know, we're offering you a good price. You know, take the deal. If you don't want to take the deal, then, you know, not our fault what happens. That's what it looks like, right? Fuck those people. They just, the amount of, I'll never say hate, because there's nothing that brings me to that level, you know, and I'm not going to put as much energy into something that, you know, would require me to hate it. But disdain, disgusted, abhor, all of that fits right on in.
Did y'all hear about the fires in Chile that are happening? 40,000 acres are burned so far. Check this video out.
My bad for pausing, but this is what I want you to look at. And I know I played some of this on one of my previous videos, but I just wanted to reiterate what's going on and keep this, you know, at the front of your at the front of your brain. I want this to be on your mind all of the time because they claim forest fires, right? Look at this. This kind of housing reminds me of the favelas in Brazil, right? So it's just houses stacked upon houses, you know, made with all kinds of different uh, products and things. You know, could be some stone, some brick, some aluminum, some mud. So you know, there's no consistency in the material. But what you don't see anywhere is a fucking forest. There's no forest. I mean, yeah, there's forests in Chile, but not here. Not in their major cities like this. There's no forest. So, and I understand how forest fires work. One of my best friends is one of those. He's special forces, and now he was special forces, and now he's one of those Alaskan paratroopers that, you know, is in the plains, dumping out flies, fire on these wildfires. You know, true wildfires. You know, to you know, make them stop, or sometimes they'll actually set controlled fires, and I get that too, to help the land regrow. But this is not any of that. This is just scorched earth. Look at that. There's hardly any trees in fucking sight. That's what I want you to pay attention to. So when we go through this video, just look and tell me if you see a forest where the flames have gotten so massive that they're coming out of the forest to actually burn down things close to that forest, like buildings, cars, houses, anything like that. Let me know if you see it, because I haven't.
This video you see, I bet you think this is Maui, right? You'd be wrong, because this is Chile. Prayers go out to the people in Chile, but I just wonder what's going on, because this does not look natural.
Yeah, he's right. None of that looks natural. Look at what we're looking at. Look. So, yeah, you've got some trees here. The trees don't even look like they've been burnt. Look, the leaves are still there. The leaves are literally still on the trees. Look at this. The leaves are still there. And this is, obviously, this is not a forest. Look, you've got cars parked all along this road. Show me a forest where this fire, you know, breached the forest and started burning everything else. No, it's not. Damn, I've been talking on mute. So there's no forest there. I know you don't see any forest. Look at the leaves. There's leaves all over these trees. There's leaves everywhere. So, no, you're not seeing any forest. And let me know if you guys find it. If you see a forest where the fires actually breach that forest and start burning down cars parked on the sides of streets all over town. Because that's not what forest fires do, you know, and these are all in line. And even if there were a forest, if there was a massive forest there that was being burned, that should really be serious because these forests that we don't have that many of anymore are the lungs of this planet. If those forests burn down, this planet becomes basically uninhabitable for us because we won't be able to fucking breathe. We need those forests, but the forests are not in danger. There's some trees in danger. And I guess if you were to put all these trees together, you know, you could call it a forest, but it's you can see it with your eyes. That's not what it is at all.
At all. It really makes you wonder what's going on. What are they trying to do with all of this, if you catch my drift? Because this looks very, very suspect. And again, prayers go out to these people in Chile, but this looks like we have another Maui on our hands. This is some scary stuff. What are your thoughts on all of this? Do you think this looks natural? Or do you think there's something else at play here? Comment down below. Share this video wherever you can share it. Like the video. Let's get it out to more and more people. More and more people really need to see this. Again, prayers go out to these people.
And I completely agree. I've reposted and I think I've stitched it or duetted this because awareness is the main power that we have. So sending that out to as many people as we can, and then them sending that out is making people more aware of what's actually going on.
So Chile suffered from a wildfire a couple of days ago, right? Everyone technically lost their homes, cars, everything. But somebody took a video that was very questionable, and I'm gonna play it right now. And you guys let me know what you think about this.
¿Será verdad la teoría de la casa azul?
Now look, I'm not one to believe in coincidences, right? I believe everything happens by design. How many coincidences until it's mathematically impossible? Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't know, guys, like this is a very interesting occurrence. The house was barely touched, okay? Everything around it, demolished, burned to ash.
Let me tell you why. Like I said, I haven't even seen these, but I'm going to tell you why. I know this for a fact because I've done it, and I can do it and show you. So, when Maui was getting hit with those infrared lasers, what they ended up finding out was something I found out years ago, was that lasers will not burn blue. They won't burn it. It will just absorb it, but it won't burn it. So then the Chinese government starts painting all of their roofs blue on all of their government buildings. I learned this years ago because I have a laser that's shaped like a lightsaber. And this is a real laser. Like you have to wear basically the same goggles you would wear if you were welding. You have to wear that, or else, you know, you'll fuck up your vision. And so I was burning a bunch of stuff, like burning some old mail. And there was a corner of the top left that was blue, and it's where the, you know, like their card was embedded into the paper, and it was all blue. So I'm burning this whole paper, and then I'm like, wait, why is it not burning blue? And I was like, or is it just this piece of paper? But then I tried it on, you know, 15, 20 different pieces of paper. I could, line them all up and just burn through all of them. Not instantly, it's a laser, and it's very powerful, but it's not, like a massive laser. So, it would take a while to burn through all of them, but it only takes seconds to ignite one. But anytime there was something blue, just would not do anything. It would barely even heat it up. Like I would take something, so when I found that out, I took some blue paper and I would hold it down, like line it up on a holder, turn it on, and it's hitting that blue. And I would let it do that for like 30 or 40 seconds and then turn it off and touch it, and it was barely warm. I guarantee you that's where he's going with this. That's why that house did not get touched. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. I would be shocked if I'm wrong. I would be very shocked. And I'm telling you, I have not seen this before. But I would be very shocked if I'm wrong about this, because I know for a fact, and I'm like, hey, the scientists could have called us like 2 years ago. We could have told them, yeah, blue, that's your out right there. Paint everything blue. You don't have to worry about it.
Ashes, but somehow it managed to stand still. Now, I'm sure some of you remember this video, right? I'm not gonna go into it too much. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I want you guys to comment and let me know what you think about this, because I don't know how many people seen that video, but yeah, that's a strange coincidence, if you know what I'm saying. So let me know what you guys think about this, because yeah, I need to hear some opinions, and I
have never seen that video before. I need to find it though and look it up, because yeah, I didn't know it looked like t-shirts that were wrapped on something. But yeah, I've never seen that before. That's a way different laser than mine is. That one's wide. That looks like like that thing would be like, I don't know, like maybe 3 feet long by 2 feet wide. Excuse me, that's a pretty big laser. Mine's nothing near that. I think we should make like a program that's telling all of these countries, not the ones that have been hit, but just all of them, like start painting your roofs blue. Your roof, start painting them blue. Paint everything blue. If you don't want to paint it blue, put a blue tarp over it, and you will be spared by this, infrared beam coming from a satellite. Truth. I mean, that simple task, just think about it. That simple task right there will completely protect you. I don't care if you've got to take, 20 blue tarps, sew them together and put them over your property, or you just paint your roof on your house blue. Just do that. You'll be good. I think people need to know that. People need to understand that there's a way to protect yourself from this, because they don't know. They don't know who's next, what this is, why it is. But that's one thing that everyone needs to know. It cannot penetrate blue. So, paint your shit blue. You'll be protected. I think that's the least we can do. And put this, I don't know, I'm probably going to make a video, like a short on TikTok or something, telling everybody, look, paint your shit blue. And I might even bring my laser out and do the test just to show people. Like, it can burn everything but blue.
The same thing that happened in Hawaii happened in Chile. Why isn't nobody talking about it? Just pay attention. Listen to what she's saying. Look at the caption. The same thing that had happened in Hawaii. That's the same thing somebody else said when the stuff happened in Hawaii. They thought it was a hurricane. This is crazy. Check it out. Look just like the footages from Hawaii, from Maui. This all seem familiar, right? They've been using these direct energy machines. This is crazy. Pay attention. Why wasn't that red car affected? Check this one out. This is crazy. Tarnished, demolished. This was no forest fire. They said that it was a forest fire. This is crazy. Why isn't the blue? Pay attention. See that the blue wasn't touched. Nothing that was blue or red. And we wonder why the people in China been painting the top of their houses blue. And some been red. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section about all this. This is crazy. Pray for Chile.
So check this out. If I get enough people that are interested and they want to see me actually, you know, I can make a short video showing what it burns, or I can make a regular video in maybe, 5 or 10 minutes showing you what the lasers will burn. And I can show you, I don't actually think I've tried red. I wasn't trying specific colors. I was just burning, like newspapers, different mail that I had that I didn't need, just testing it out on stuff. We tested it out on ourselves first and just split second, ow, shit, But the longer out you are, the longer it will take to, for all of that energy to hit you. Like anything else, that's just physics. But yeah, like I was able to burn someone from across my house. So you're talking about like 28-foot space from my back door to my living room, and I turned it on, but I had to sit it on something because sitting it in my hand, it's moving too much. Even though I feel like I'm steady, it's moving because it's a small beam. So I had to actually put it on something to mount it and then turn it on and leave it to where it wouldn't move at all. And yeah, even I tested it. I went over there and put my hand in front of it and just seconds, just pow, So yeah, let me know if we get enough people. Say we get 100 people that say we want to see that, I will 1000% make a video on doing that. But yeah, I'm not surprised at what he said. I haven't seen any of these videos, but I'm glad he said that. And people need to know about this. People need to understand this, because it's crazy that all it takes is a little bit of paint and you're safe. And like I said, I've never tried red before. I've tried stuff that had red in it, but I've never tried anything specifically red before. So I'll have to try that to see if that works. I don't know.
Prendiendo fuego ahí, está prendiendo fuego ahí abajo. ¡Ya te vimos! Allá van, allá van, allá van. ¡Ya te vimos! ¡Agárralo! No joda. Allá van, allá van, allá van.
I don't know, maybe I missed something there. My Spanish is slightly rusty, but I don't know if I missed something. Let me know what I missed. If you guys saw what happened that maybe I missed, I don't know. But let me know if you guys saw that. See, this is the shit that pisses me the fuck off. Pisses me off. Let's get into it.
A state of emergency has been declared in Chile. Hundreds of homes are at risk from wildfires raging in the country. Some of the fires are threatening tourist areas, including Valparaiso. Now, that's where more than 17,000 acres have already burned. Scientists say the fires are being made worse by both a drought and a heat wave. That heat wave is expected to affect Argentina, Paraguay, and Brazil in the next few days.
See, that's the fucked up part about all of this. They're using all of these terms that people already know, you know, these heat waves. No, heat waves do not do this. It's not what heat waves do. I've been in actual heat waves. Heat waves aren't setting ablaze everything that's sitting on concrete. You know, heat waves do not work like that. That's not how fire, energy, any of that stuff works. But the mainstream media is just wanting you to believe, oh yeah, oh, this is, you know, forest fires and it's gotten so large that, and the one thing you hear is everybody thought it was a hurricane. That's because it initially came out as a hurricane. I gotta find the video. There's a few of them. It initially came out as a hurricane, and then it came out as a hurricane that seemed to turn into a fire hurricane. You're talking about a massive, wide hurricane that turned into fire, you know? So now it's just wind, debris, and lots of fire rotating. So think of a normal hurricane, you know, rain, dampness, wet, debris, but you add fire to that mix and let it just, you know, go over everything. That's what's been happening in these places. Not all of them, but some of them. That's just imagine how terrifying that is. Hurricanes are massive. You know, we're getting massive floods and everywhere that usually would be in a drought right now. You know, these desert cities. We got 48 states that have been snowed on, and the snow wasn't even real. And I didn't post this, but you know, after 3 or 4 days, I noticed that I had a lot of it that still hadn't melted. So I went to go like break a piece off by my fence with my foot. It wouldn't break off. So I grabbed this little pole I had and just like kind of jabbed at it to get me a piece broken off. And I said this in my video, it smelled like ozone. And then, you know, after, I should have tried to light it with one of my torches or something, but I didn't at the time. You know, I was busy doing a lot of stuff. This was just like something I was doing at the time. And so, but when it did finally start to break up, I saw pieces of plastic in there. And I was like, that's why it smells like ozone. That's terrifying. Because this is not man-made. It doesn't take a smart person to realize this is not man-made. This did not come from the sky. Not natural sky. CERN.
¿Qué tiene el color azul? Algo extraño está pasando.
Look at this bullshit. This was 2 hours ago. Like I said, I haven't seen any of these, but I'm just looking at the title. This was 2 fucking hours ago.
Massive forest fires broke out in the central region of Chile, leaving hundreds killed or missing. As residents mourn over the lost lives, its president pledges to assist those impacted.
Villages devoured by flames and smoke. Homes were scorched after massive forest fires broke out in central Chile last Friday. The Chilean National Disaster Prevention and Response Service said at least 112 have been killed as around 160 active fires raged along the country's coastline. 1,400 firefighters were deployed on Sunday to control the fire. The city of Viña del Mar, west of the capital Santiago, burst into flames, leaving at least 1,600 people without homes, while 200 people were reported missing. The city and the surrounding area are home to a popular beach resort and tourist gathering area. The wildfires in the neighborhood of Viña del Mar started in mountainous forest areas. They soon reached densely populated areas on the city's periphery. The forest fires broke out during a week of record-high temperatures in central Chile, where weather conditions of low humidity and high wind speeds made it difficult to control them. The cause of the wildfires is currently being investigated, but President Gabriel Boric says authorities cannot rule out the possibility that some of them could have been started deliberately.
You hear that? Some of them could have been started deliberately. This is what they have to look to if they're not as informed as y'all are, or if they don't go down the same rabbit holes that we go down. They're trusting this narrative, and it's a bullshit fucking narrative. I can't even, I honestly cannot. I can't even convey disgust that I feel when I'm looking at this. Like, it disgusts me to my core, because these are human lives. These are people. These are innocent people. These are, these are people that, are just unfortunate enough to be at the whipping end of the cabal that runs everything in this world. And it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. And how do they even know these 15-minute cities that they drew up in Agenda 21 that started in 1992 were really kicked up in 1999? How do they even know that this is going to work? They want to take it by force. They want to do it by force. Do your research on Agenda 21. There was a woman on YouTube for a while. She was an American woman. I think she was living in Switzerland or Denmark. She worked for the government on Agenda 21 for like 10 years since its inception. And see, the problem is in Europe, we talk about this openly. When I was in Europe just a few months ago, we talk about this kind of stuff openly. But here, and I've said this before, here, they're like, oh, go put your tinfoil hat on. Well, guess what, bitch? Tinfoil hats actually do something. They block out a lot of EMF. So that's not really an insult. I'd rather wear a tinfoil hat and be safe than not wear one and have all of this shit running through my body, that you're putting out there. But yeah, it's openly discussed in Europe. Here, it's not discussed at all. Not, not even. I'm not even talking about publicly on the mainstream media. I'm talking about in general. People aren't discussing it. So I remember her video got taken down, but if you can find her, her name is Marie, and just white woman, got a head and jaw like a linebacker. Thick girl, looks like she can, take a hit, but joking. She's a tough looking woman, but she is the one that was out there giving this warning, and I thought I saved her video, but apparently I didn't, or I might have lost it, but it definitely got taken down. But all of this comes from that. All of this comes from what spawned in the early 90s and then physically started being implemented in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then here we go. We're at this point to where another 10 years goes by. Now we're in the 2019 era, and you see what's been going on. And you've seen like where I live in the South, excuse me, we built out, not up, 'cause we're in the South, a lot of land. But like where I live, there's only been like a couple of handful of apartment complexes. Now they are tossing up massive ones everywhere. And even some of my friends were, coming from Top Golf, and I was like, "What is that? Is that a hospital they're building?" And he was like, "No, dude, that's an apartment complex." And I was like, "Who would want to live right here? Like, why would you want to go out of your back door and see like Top Golf, the Tesla charging station, the massive one? Like, why would you want? And they're expensive. You're talking like $3,800 to $4,000 a month for an apartment. For an apartment that's built into an area that is so congested because not only do you have the Tesla charging stations, but you have all of these other things. You've got Dave and Buster's there. You've got Top Golf. You've got Mid City, this big, massive outdoor area. You've got a bunch of restaurants. What's it called? Mountaintop or Mountain Peak. Where they like their slogan is "Our beer is 32 degrees at all times." Which is the level of freezing for water. But it's like, who would want to live there? Like if you're trying to get some sleep on the weekend and it's so crowded. And then the same thing happened with the baseball field. They built a baseball field, and I have some friends that live there. They have put up so many apartment buildings there to where they've actually made a ramp off of the highway for those people. And I asked some of my friends, I'm like, "How do you like living here?" And they're like, "It fucking sucks, because on the weekends they're having these baseball games, and it's super loud, so you can't sleep in. They're lighting off fireworks. There's fairs. There's all this stuff here." But yeah, the whole thing of Agenda 21 is being fulfilled, and you guys need to recognize that. You truly need to recognize that and start doing your research on it. I live really far out for where I live. I don't live like 30 minutes away or anything, but for where I'm at, I live about as far out as you can get. And still, I love it because we don't have light pollution. But I didn't even have people behind me for 10 years, so I had a beautiful view of the mountains, the forest, the Tennessee River. And then all of a sudden, backhoes are in my backyard, doing stuff. So I've got to put up a fence now. But, I'm far out enough to where there's no light pollution. You're not coming this far out unless you know somebody or you have business in the area. because there's nothing out here but a Dollar General, a couple of food shops, you know. And so you're not coming out this far unless you live here or you're visiting someone out here, which is what I like. But man, they've just taken every piece of land and just crammed, you know, fucking houses. It doesn't matter if it's like there's one next to me. It's like 8 houses. That's a whole complex right there. They built a whole street for 8 houses. Telling you, shit's getting out of hand. You guys need to protect yourselves. You need to have some contingency plans to protect not only yourself but your family and your loved ones. It's what I'm doing. And you know, if you want, let me know. Put it in the comments. Let you know if you need some help on what to do, where to get stuff, what you should do. Put it in the comments. I'll reply. I talk to all you guys. I love when you guys talk to me and comment. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, and I'm just preparing. You know, I hope it doesn't go a certain way, but I'm damn sure going to be prepared in case it does. And I've been doing that for a while now, so you know, it is what it is. But you know, just don't believe the hype, don't believe the bullshit. You know, stay true, and remember that, you know, love is the most powerful thing on this planet. It trumps everything. And I know it sounds cheesy, but it trumps everything. So I don't care if it's, you know, your neighbor or someone you don't know. You know, when all this stuff happens, people need to stick together versus, you know, keeping to themselves, because we can help each other a lot better when we stick together. Do not let them cause that divide. Not let them input fear to your lives and then cause that division between everyone. Do not let that happen. So that's my little rant. So look, that should terrify everyone. That should terrify everybody. You know, it's happening everywhere. I don't know where you guys live, but where I'm at, you know, we've never had apartments. We're in the South, so we build out, not up. So we've had apartments being built in strange areas. You know, like I thought one, I was like, what is that? They've got a 5-level parking deck right next to Top Golf and Dave and Buster's and like all these food shops. I was like, what is that? My friend was like, I think those are apartments. And I was like, no, that can't be apartments. You know, it's just a big parking lot and then that. Who would want to live here? Apparently it is. And then you've got these massive apartments not far from where I live, to where there's so many, you know, there's a baseball field there, and they've built so many apartments there to where they actually built an on-ramp from the interstate to get to that area. And I was like, you know, I know people that live there. And I'm like, how do you like it? And they're like, you know, it sucks on the weekends because they have baseball games. Christmas, they have all these things. You know, there's just always something that's letting off fireworks, being loud, and it's just going to wake you up. And, you know, these apartments are super expensive. You know, you're talking 3,000 to 4,200 a month, you know, for an apartment. It's ridiculous, you know, and I'm just saying, you know, be ready for anything. You know, I'm preparing for the worst, but I hope for the best. But I'll be damned if I'm not prepared. And if you guys want any help, I don't know if you have any kind of contingency plan at all. And I'm not talking about like being a prepper or, you know, being in a militia or anything. I'm talking about what actually happens if we get hit with an EMP and you have no food and no water. What happens? Because within 1 year, 90% of the population will be gone from starvation, disease, and just utter slaughtering each other. Have a contingency plan, and we all have to work together. We can do so much more together than we can when they divide us. And you always see that. They're trying to incite fear. So then that fear can cause division. And then that division can cause animosity and all of these things and cause us to conflict with each other. Do not let them cause you to conflict with anyone. Do not let them cause you to deny your neighbor. You know, if anybody comes to me and needs some help, I'm going to do my best to help them while keeping my family safe, of course, but I will help them. And we have to come together. We cannot let them do this to us. We cannot let them win this. They're not going to win it. You know, it can go on for 20 years and it could be at its worst, but they will never win. But we have to make sure of that. So I'm just saying, you know, I love conversing with you guys in the comments. If you have a contingency plan, hit me up in the comments and let me know what you do. If you don't have one and you want some tips, some links on where to get some good stuff that's not gonna, you know, burn out your pockets, also let me know. These aren't places that I'm sponsored by at all. These are just places that I've researched and I use just because it's the best that I found. So let me know, but you all stay safe. See you on the next one, hopefully.